Could go over 40 people. That's not too bad. Okay, we are recording. I'll put this up later, as usual. And I think, shall I start? I'll start. Okay, just as I do that, of course, lots of people start coming in. Okay, let's get started. If people miss it, you can always check out the video later anyway. Okay, let's go into screen share here. Let's see if I can avoid messing things up. I'll just have a quick look at the Excel file from the quiz from last week. Don't like people doing this, by the way. If you can avoid doing that, it'd be nice. But somebody's got a number where the magic word is. Don't do that. What are you doing that for? Anyway, let's just scroll through here briefly. So you can just check that your stuff went through, just in case there was a problem. Haven't had any problems, so I think it's working nicely, which is good. And generally speaking, I think this class online is better than face-to-face. I strongly believe that. Anyway, there you go. I'll just scroll through that, just so you can have a quick look. And that, I believe, is that. Somebody coming in. Okay, then. So I don't think nobody's said anything. So I don't think there's any problem with that. So if you have done it, but you can't see your name there or your number, then maybe you should say something. But I don't think there's any problem. Nobody's said anything anyway so far. So I think we're all right. Okay, then I'm going to close that. Let me just go back out first, see where we are, see if nobody's chatting or anything like that. So I think we're okay. Okay, up to nearly 50 people now, so that's about right, isn't it? Okay, then guys. Right, so anyway, this, I've got no chat or anything like that, so I think we're just about ready to start moving. Let me go into the quiz from last week. I'll just have a quick look at this. Magic word is erectus. We're really thinking about the origins of language at the moment, like when language started. We're going to cover some of that stuff today as well. There's a verb, subject, verb, object, yes. Subject, verbs, and I don't like that. Subject, object, verb, language, yes. And people coming in. Okay. Malagasy, the language spoken in Madagascar. Yes, it's a bit of a funny language. Bit unusual. Seems weird to us, but it's we're going to be doing like things to do with machine language and computer language later. And you see that if you look at the world's languages, there's no particular reason to think that the subject comes before the object, right? Because some languages actually have the object first and subject second, which, for us, I think Japanese speakers and English speakers, that seems a bit strange, right? I mean, you think, really? Why would you do that? But it doesn't seem as if there's any particular problem with that. Peter has not the answer. Madagascar is the correct answer. Malagasy is the name of the language. In English, no, not that. And English is different from Japanese in that question words, yes. WH words, good. So I'll allow that. Determine answer, no, not really. Interrogative words, interrogative words. That's not bad, is it? I'm sort of tempted to allow that, actually. We don't usually use interrogative that way. We've got interrogative sentence, but it's like question, isn't it? Interrogative. There's two people. I'm not even sure I can spell interrogative, but I think I'm going to give it. I'm going to check it later. All right. Okay. The rest of it, no. Does not have subject verb agreement. Yes, that's right. Is the only good answer. Spelling mistake there. Plural. Yes. Determinative forms, no, not really. Irregular forms, not really. Noun form, no. Rural, that's a good one, no. Chomsky claims that language differences are superficial. Yes, he says it's all surface, right? Languages are all the same deep down. Yes. No idea. Okay, they're all the same deep down. Yeah, universal grammar. All languages are the same deep down. Yeah, that's really what it is. And then the linguist Dan Everett used to be a Christian missionary. Spelling. Famous missionary, no. Foreign mission, not really. Visited the Piraha tribe, yes, in the Amazon jungle. Good. I don't like these X's, by the way. Can you not do that? Because I'm going to have to. It's going to mess everybody up. His mission was to translate the Bible for the Piraha people. Somebody coming in? Yes, Bible. And that's no problem. Go to heaven when they die is good. Go to God. I suppose it is God, but I don't think I'm going to give that. People coming in. After studying the Piraha language, he discovered it was very strange. Yes. I don't know why we got capital here, but it doesn't matter. That's the correct answer. They don't give a tick because it's capital here. It doesn't make any difference, so don't worry about it. It's the correct answer. Very often the Piraha people hum or whistle, that's right. Sing words. Not really, right? Because sing sounds like you're actually singing the words. Arabic, not really. Okay. Perhaps the strangest thing about the Piraha language is they don't have numbers. Yes, that's weird. Don't have number. It doesn't really work, right? Combined sentences is kind of true, right? Because they don't combine sentences in certain ways, but that's two words I'm not going to give it. They don't have language. They do have language. The Piraha people prefer not to think about the past or future. Yes. Good. Not the rest of it. Found the Piraha. What's that distant? Oop, I'm losing my sound, I think. Piraha people prefer... No, not distant. No, good. Not to. You got hot there. That's not right. Dan found that the Piraha people were not really interested in heaven because they had no fear of death. That's right. Just don't think about it. Maybe it's best way. No fear of dying. Yes, dying is good. Not the others. The philosophy of Piraha was that you should just do your best. Do your work. Yeah, I suppose it's true, but that's not really the point here. Dan failed to change the Piraha, but they changed him. He became an atheist. That's right. Stopped believing in God. Became an atheism. No, you don't say that. Became a non-God. That's actually true, I guess, but we don't say that. Later, Dan became a linguist and an anthropologist. Yes. Anthropologist, not anthropology. Anthropologist. There's no tick here because somebody put a capital, but that's the correct answer. Don't worry about that. Language is a technology. Yes. Language is a technology. It's a kind of cultural tool, right? Cultural tool, a bit like cooking or the use of fire to cook. So language is a technology. Is a language a computer? No. Dan says that language is human beings' greatest technological invention. Yes. Think about that. What do you think? Right? Yes. Tools. Technological tools. I might have accepted tool, but it's invention is the point. So language is an invented thing. Human beings, ancient human beings, invented language. First invented about 2 million years ago, yes. 2 million. Not really, because there's 2 there, right? It doesn't work. Sorry. 2 millions? You don't say 2 millions. 2 billion years ago. That's a long time. Don't think so. At that time, there were no modern humans, so language must have been invented by Homo erectus. That's right. Is what he thinks. Homo sapiens is us, right? That's modern humans. We've only been on Earth about 200 to 250,000 years. So we haven't been around 2 million years. So it's not that, it's Homo erectus. And modern humans are Homo sapiens, yes. Homo sapiens are modern humans, okay? Modern humans are Homo sapiens. Homo humans? No. Homo humans, I like that. But no. And the brain of Homo erectus is about 75% as big as ours, yes? Okay. So Homo erectus, they kind of looked almost the same as us in many ways. They could buy clothes in a shop, standing up, about the same height. Brain was pretty big. Mouth was a bit different. And Homo erectus was about the same height as modern humans. Yes, same size. I should allow that. Same size, 30. That's okay, actually, isn't it? Because they were about the same size. The rest of it, no, not really. Same tall, you can't say that. Homo erectus was probably able to run long distances, yes. Okay, so our ability to chase long distances, chase long distance. Maybe I should allow that because that kind of gets the point. Chase, yes, because they probably did chase after animals. Homo erectus also made stone tools. Stone tool doesn't really work. They made spears. I made a mistake here. 33. Okay, I'll change that. I've obviously messed up because people have got the right answer and they haven't got the point. So I've obviously left that out. I'll change that in a second. They must have killed large animals. Animal doesn't really work. Travel by boat. Boat and boats, I allow that. Ship. Canoe. I don't think it's canoe, is it? Because, like, you know, canoes are special boats. I don't think I'm going to give that. Boatki was that? I don't know what that is. The mouth of Homo erectus is more like a gorilla, with more like a mouth of a gorilla, right? It has to be a gorilla. Of a gorilla. Cannot speak like us, could not make many sounds. Okay, good. Spelling. Not make many words. Yeah, we don't really know about that. I'm not going to give it. However, some modern languages only have a few sounds. For example, Peter only has 11 sounds. That's right. Only has few. Well, it's kind of given. I'm not going to allow that. And language needs symbols and grammar. That's right. So you can start off with very simple symbols like, you know, sort of signs, like just hand signals or something like that. And then maybe single words, just one word. That's a symbol, right? Because you've made it up in culture. And then as you combine the words, then you need grammar. But anyway, grammar. Yes, there are 3 kinds of sign. I'm going to keep talking about this, guys, because it's important, I think, to get you to think about what language is. An index, an icon, and a symbol. Yes, semiotics is the study of signs, right? A sign, 3 kinds of sign, okay? Okay, you get the idea. It's semiotics. Yeah, that's good. Well done. You remembered that, but I'm not going to give that. An icon looks like something. It shows a physical resemblance. That's right. Good, good, good. Looks gone a bit mad there. And the Christian cross began as an icon, then became a symbol. That's right. So it looks like an actual wooden cross. It's an icon to begin with, and then it's used as a symbol to symbolize things like Christianity. Spelling. All animals recognize indexes. I think you'd probably agree with that. But it's for the first icon emerged about 300,000 years ago. That's right. 3,000,000. No, you can't say that. An interesting question, I think, about indexes is can animals recognize indexes, right? Can animals recognize, for example, a picture of something? And I think they probably cannot, right, recognize a picture, but maybe a model, right? If you make a model of a bird, then the birds might think that's one of them, right? And I think they do that. So maybe they recognize things that look like them if it really is like a model of them. But a picture and things like that, maybe not. But anyway, think about that. This is an icon. Sorry, this is an icon because it looks like a graduating student. However, it may symbolize education or hard work. Hard study is good, no problem. Hard intelligence, I'm not going to give that. Hard learning, don't think those work very well. I'm not going to give that. And then Richard Wrangham, okay, he said that human evolution was control of fire. That's not a very good sentence, is it? Anyway, people got it right. I should probably change that. There's going to be no problem with the... I made a mistake with the grammar there. It says that human evolution should be like an important part of an important invention in human evolution was control of fire. Okay. Yeah, so it's like basically we control fire and then this allowed us to evolve in certain ways. When humans cooked their food, they could get calories, energy is good. Not culture, not food. As we could get energy from food more easily, our brains, or brains, these are both okay. Can I just check that? 47. Brains. I think it's okay. It's just a capital there. As we could eat softer food and spend less time chewing, our mouths could change in shape. Yes, that's all right. Stomach is also true, actually. That's not the chewing, though, right? It's the stomach is like because we could digest our food more easily, right? And then our teeth could change in shape. That is actually true, right? But the point here is the teeth and the jaw, the whole thing, right? The mouths could change. So I don't think I'll, although that's actually true, our teeth could change in shape. But really the point here is that everything to do with the mouth could change. Okay, then, but that's pretty good, right? And let me just see if I can get out of here. And 8. Where's 8? Yes, let's have a look. Question, words. I'm going to give interrogative as correct. And number 30, I'm going to give, what's that about? About the same height, same size. Sorry, guys. Good thing I'm not in the classroom. Size. And so look, 31. Whoops, too far. 31. It's probably able to, yeah, I think chase is good. Yeah. These guys, oops, somebody coming in. These guys, by the way, if you look at the picture here, these are persistence hunters. They just run after they chase big animals for a very, very long time, which humans are good at. We're good at running long distances compared to other animals. And then if you chase after a big animal for like a very, very, very long time, hours or days, eventually the animal collapses and dies. Or it collapses and then you can just run up and hit it with a stick or something and you can kill it. Okay, 33, I made a mistake. Yeah, this is wrong. Let's have a look. That should be spears. Okay, spears is the correct answer there. You'll now get that, so don't worry about that. 45. Oh, this is a stupid sentence. What have I done there? Says that an important event in human evolution was control of fire. Yeah, I think that works all right. And then 47. Brains is there, so it should be no problem. Yeah. Don't know why that happened. I'll just put it just in case, right? Because a lot of people wrote with a capital. I didn't seem to give a tick, so anyway, I think it's no problem. Why isn't it doing that? I see, because it's the same thing. No, so it's all right. You're going to get the answer, right? It won't allow me to put in a capital there because you've already got the small one. In other words, it makes no difference. So you've got the correct answer there, no problem. Okay, then, guys, right then. So that's that. So I've changed that now. And today's is here. So as you can see, we're kind of looking at evolution again. We're thinking about the evolution of language. I want you to think about that. And the magic word this is a kind of a long magic word. It's intentionality. Intentionality. Check out the spelling, intentionality. In other words, we intend to do things, right? Intentionality. You'll hopefully get why I mentioned this a bit later as we go through this. But that's the magic word, intentionality. Shall I write it down? No, it doesn't work. I could put it here, actually. Let's put it here. So the magic word is, because it's quite a difficult magic word, and I want you to think about this. That's it, intentionality. Okay, I like this, kind of like this picture, actually. You can see these guys running, and this one at the front is like a modern human. Anyway, that's that. I'm going to come back to that later. Let me just go into the PowerPoint, and I'm just going to review some stuff from last time. Move that over there. Don't like that there either. Put it over there. Maybe that's better. So I mentioned this guy, Richard Wrangham, cooking. Right, cooking was the big evolutionary event. We start cooking food. We got control fire. We can cook our food. We can get our calories more easily. Our brains getting bigger. And of course, when did this start? We don't really know. We have evidence of about 1.5 million years ago, early humans using fire. So their brains were getting bigger. They were living in communities. Also, maybe they were dividing labor. So men maybe were going out hunting more than the women, and maybe the women were staying with the children and cooking more than the men, probably. Yeah. So you get this division of labor. Because we're cooking, we can digest our food more easily. Our stomachs can get smaller. We can stand up straighter. Our mouths can change over time. Our mouth, if we're speaking, we're using language, then our mouths are going to adapt, right, for speaking more easily because we don't have to chew all the time. Right? And chimpanzees chewing all day long, gorillas chewing all day long. We didn't have to do that. We had free time to invent culture. Okay, so 2 million years ago, we controlled fire, we start cooking, we get more calories from food, because chimpanzees just spend all day chewing. Okay, somebody coming in. And, oops. Spend less time eating, basically. Free time. Get smaller stomachs because we can digest the food more easily. We get bigger brains because we get more calories more easily. And we get free time so we can think about things maybe and start communicating with each other more. Yeah, we just free time. We can eat softer food. As we can eat softer food, as we're speaking, we're trying to communicate with each other. Our mouths now can become more like modern mouths. Can change. You can see this guy, he's still got a bit of a gorilla mouth. It's changing a bit, but not modern yet. So that's going to be a big deal. So 200,000 years ago, our mouths are perfectly evolved. Now, this is important, right? Modern humans, about 250,000, let's say 250,000 years ago. It's a long time, but it's not that long compared to, say, Homo erectus, right? So this is quite recent in some ways, right? That's us, right? Homo sapiens, that's modern humans 200,000 years ago. 200,000 years ago, we look at evidence, skulls, bones, right? Modern humans 200,000 years ago, they looked like us. Their mouths were exactly like ours, right? Now, how did that happen, right? How did that happen? How did they get mouths exactly like us 200,000 years ago? Is that just a complete accident, right? Oh, it's an accident. Well, I mean, this is what Chomsky's saying, right? He's saying that like 50,000 years ago, he's saying, right? Actually, 50,000 years ago, we get universal grammar by accident, right? We get suddenly, for no reason, we get like syntax, grammar, boing, 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 bouncing into our brains for no reason. It's an accident. It's a random mutation. And also, we just happen to have perfectly evolved mouths. Do you believe that? I mean, I don't believe that. That's completely unbelievable. So that's one of the big ideas in linguistics. Right? It's wrong. Right? So that's a really big idea. Universal grammar. We suddenly get grammar in our heads. He's saying about 40,000, 50,000 years ago. Let's say 100,000 years ago. Right? Be kind. Yeah, but certainly within the last 200,000 years, well, how is it possible that our mouths are already evolved, right? And also our brains are really big, right? Our brains are really, really big compared to animals. We're standing up straight. We've evolved to the same shape as us. And what, we had no language then? That doesn't make any sense. Anyway, think about it. And so we evolved. Mouths are perfectly evolved for speaking. Yeah, perfectly evolved for speaking. Okay, so anyway, here's Chomsky's idea of language evolution. Language evolution was very sudden and random. Okay, it was this random mutation. And to less than 200,000 years ago, humans were basically chimpanzees or gorillas, right? Except, right, we lived on the ground. We walked around on two legs. We could run long distances. We controlled fire, right? And our mouths were perfectly evolved for human speech. Also, we had big brains, right? 200,000 years ago, we had big brains. We're standing upright. Yeah, we're standing upright and running long distances. And then universal grammar suddenly evolved by random mutation. What? For no reason, all of a sudden. And it's purely grammatical. It's just syntax. That's what Chomsky's saying. Except that it helped us to think. So it wasn't really purely grammatical. Anyway, that's Chomsky's idea. And then you've got cognitive linguistics, right? Now, the cognitive linguists' idea of language evolution is language evolution was very gradual. Very gradual. Yeah. Now, I think, what do you think? What's his name? Dan Everett saying that 2 million years ago, at least 2 million years ago, ancient humans using simple symbols like signs, hand signs maybe, or simple one-word sentences, should we say, just using words in a very simple way, at least 2 million years ago, maybe more. So human ancestors left the trees and started walking around the ground about 4 million years ago. And I think everybody agrees on that. Now, we're starting to, these are our ancestors, right? So they're kind of looking a bit like chimpanzees and gorillas, I suppose. But they start walking around on the ground, right? They're kind of forced out of the trees. And we have to survive, right? No longer protected by the trees. So we need to develop different abilities, right? We can't just be chimpanzees anymore. And we can't live in the trees because we've been kicked out of the trees by the other monkeys. They don't like us in the trees. And there's not so many trees anymore, right? So we have to get out of the trees and we have to survive. So we no longer survive by living in the trees. We have to find new ways to survive. And the idea is there, our new ability was cooperation, right? Cooperation. We start to cooperate in big ways. And as we're very good at, what's going on? Okay, we're very good at cooperating. Somebody's coming in. Okay, so we're very good at cooperating. We start to use symbolic communication, right? Because that's what we do. We're just really good at cooperating. We're really good at communicating with each other compared to animals. That's our big advantage. Make sense? I think it makes sense. You tell me if you think I'm wrong, right? I think this makes a lot of sense, right? We're very good at cooperation. That's our communicative skills. That's our big advantage. And we start developing symbolic communication. We're using signs and so on. And we're using words. We start to use words. Very simple at first, but over time we get better. And then human language developed very gradually. Why does that keep happening? Human language starts developing very gradually. Yeah. So, first one word and it's a simple sign, and then later maybe more complex signs and more words put together. And while this is happening, we're using fire, we're learning to cook, our brains are getting bigger, our ability to communicate is gradually improving. We have spare time because we don't have to chew all the time. We can communicate. We're getting better and better at communicating. And this is our big advantage. We have more spare time. We can spend less time chewing. Shape of our mouths can change. We can digest our food more easily. We can stand up straighter. We can run longer distances. Why does that keep happening? Let me move that. Oh, hang on. Can't move it. We're over there. Okay. And we spare more time as we spend less time chewing. And the shape of our mouths could change as we digest food more easily. And eventually, our mouths evolved for human language. In other words, our mouths evolved for human language over millions of years, right? While we are speaking, we're trying to speak. And we're trying to speak because that's our big advantage over animals, right? That's the big advantage over animals. I mean, think about it, right? We come out of the trees and we start cooking, right? We have bigger brains. That's our big advantage. We're able to communicate and cooperate. And we're standing up straight. Right? But the way we evolve, we don't have sharp claws like animals. We don't have big teeth like animals. We're not very fast. We're really slow moving animals. We're not very strong. Compared to chimpanzees, we're really weak. So we're slow, weak animals. We don't have any advantages now, right? It's all bad, except we're great at communication and cooperation. And we keep working at that. We keep working at that. And over millions of years, we get better and better. Anyway, think about it. And so anyway, there's Chomsky's problem with Chomsky's idea. I'm going to move this out of the way if I can. How could we survive on the ground if we're basically the same as chimpanzees, right? We have to move we have to move onto the ground. If we're the same as chimpanzees, how are we going to survive, right? We're getting weaker anyway. We're getting softer. We're getting slower. There's no way to survive, right? If we don't have language, if we don't have any cooperative skills, no advantage, right? If we have no advantage, we can't survive, right? We're weaker physically. We don't have big teeth or dangerous claws, right? We're useless, right? Compared to animals living on the ground now, right? With the tigers and the lions and these massive, great prehistoric animals. We've got no advantage, nothing to offer. We're weak, we're soft, we're slow. We've got no advantage. And we couldn't run very fast. We're terrible, really slow, right? How do we survive? We must have had some big advantage. There must have been some big advantage. And that big advantage, right, was our cooperative skills. We could cooperate and communicate. Cooperative skills. That's the suggestion. And in cognitive linguistics, that's really what they're saying. And I think, personally now, I think, Chomsky's idea is completely dead. It doesn't make any sense, right? This must be, something like this must be correct. We must have had some big advantage as we come out of the trees 4 million years ago. Yeah. And so that goes back, cooperative skills, ability to communicate, slowly evolving communicational skills go back a long, long time. Cooperative skills, communicative skills is probably what it is. Yeah. Anyway, think about it. It's up to you. I don't mind what you think, right? But I mean, that's the cognitive linguistic position. Okay. So, for example, you think the fastest runner ever, here's Usain Bolt. This guy's incredibly fast. Look, he's just laughing at these guys here because he's so fast. I'm the fastest person ever in the world, right? And chimpanzees running on 4 legs are way faster, right? I mean, think about that, right? I don't know how fast you can run. When I was in university, I was quite fast, actually, fairly fast. I could run probably 100 meters, 12 seconds, about something like that. Yeah, it wasn't bad. Played rugby. Women in the Olympics are going to be much faster than I was. Right? Can easily beat me. This guy is going to be like running about 20 meters ahead of me, finishing the race when I was the fastest. But these chimpanzees just like running on all fours. They're just way faster. I mean, this mother here carrying a baby, she can probably beat Usain Bolt. I mean, think about it. It's amazing, right? And so, you know, obviously we can't compete with this, right? They're way stronger than we are, ridiculously strong, incredibly violent sometimes. And they're so fast, we cannot compete with these guys, even on the ground. And obviously, lions and tigers, there's no way we can compete with these guys. It's competition, evolution, competition. You've got to compete. What was our big advantage? And it seems maybe we were just better at communication, right? More cooperative, good at cooperating to survive. You could say maybe we're more intelligent, right? Got certain kind of intelligence, particularly intelligence for making tools. We needed to develop that intelligence for making tools. But in any case, you have to say we have some kind of mental advantage, right? We must have had some kind of mental advantage, something, right? Has to be. We're not just sitting around waiting for universal grammar at the point, right? Oh, let's just wait here for 2 million years while until universal grammar saves us. And that's just nonsense, frankly, isn't it? Isn't that nonsense? Believe what you want, right? I don't mind. But the idea of these guys are just gorillas, right? They're the same as gorillas, same like mental level as. There's no possibility of that because they're weak. They're getting weaker. Right? They're getting softer. They're slow. They don't have any physical advantages. They don't have claws. They don't have sharp teeth. They must have some big mental advantage. So some mental advantage. What is that? It's some mental advantage that keeps improving over time. The ability to communicate, the ability to cooperate, which has now evolved to where we are now. So another huge problem for Chomsky's idea. Now, if language ability just pops into our head less than, oops, hang on, what's happening here? I can't seem to find it. Sorry. Less than 200,000 years ago. And when I say 200,000 years ago, I'm being very kind, because Chomsky says about 40 or 50,000 years ago, right? But certainly less than 200,000 years ago. If that happens, why are our mouths perfectly evolved for human language, right? Right? I mean, come on. How is it that our mouths are perfectly evolved for human language less than 200,000 years ago, actually, right? If language ability just only pops into our head about 50,000 years ago, it's certainly less than 200,000 years ago. Doesn't make any sense. 200,000 years ago, modern humans are fully evolved. Exactly the same physically as us, modern humans. That's two miracles, right? Universal grammar pops into your head, miracle one. Our mouths are perfectly evolved for speech, miracle two. Sorry, you can't have two miracles, as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, universal grammar appears for no reason. Well, doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. But that's really what Chomsky's claiming. Random. And our mouths are already perfectly evolved for human language. It's two miracles. Two miracles. Don't think we can allow two miracles. That's two miracles too many. Anyway, so there's modern humans. The only difference between 200,000 years ago and now, right, is that we have different technologies. We're physically exactly the same. 200,000 years ago, 250,000 years ago, actually. Yeah. So you can see this evolutionary process. So probably communication, cooperation kicks in with fire, control of fire and cooking around here. And gradually, communicative skills, language develops. and evolves as we evolve. So we're physically fully evolved 200,000 years ago, 250,000 years ago, actually, we're fully evolved for speech and other physical traits. We just had different tools. So we needed to develop intelligence, cooperation, tool use to come out of the trees. Right? So these guys come out of the trees, they've got to use their intelligence and develop it to survive. Control of fire and tool use by about 2 million years ago. Yeah? So human beings, we think probably, certainly by 1.5 million years ago, because we have evidence. It's difficult to find evidence of fire, but probably we were controlling fire. Richard Wrangham says this, probably controlling fire and using tools by 2 million years ago. Using tools in ways which were superior to chimpanzees, let's say. Physically, they're nearly the same as us, right? Brains almost as big as ours. Mouths not quite as well evolved for language. So in 2 million years, our mouths evolve for language during 2 million years process. The mouths are a bit more like gorillas than ours, but our mouths did evolve for human speech. Over 2 million years, our mouths get better and better for human speech. How? It's only possible if we were trying to speak and getting an advantage by speaking. They must have been trying to speak. Yeah, they must have been. It's not possible to imagine anything else. They must have been. It's obvious. And the better speakers had an advantage. If you were a good speaker, if you were a good communicator, you had an advantage. If you were bad, you had a disadvantage. You'd probably die, right? So if you're good at communication, good at cooperation, good at speaking, you have an advantage in survival. So it's up to you. Basically, there's two things. One is sudden, right? Sudden evolution of universal grammar. And for no reason, our mouths are perfectly evolved for speech, or gradual, right? It's a gradual evolution of human language. Start with simple symbols, simple signs, simple words, slowly becoming more sophisticated, more complex. And we evolve at the same time. So that's the choice. Chomsky says sudden. The cognitive linguists say gradual. I say gradual. Must be. Don't see any other possibility. But it's up to you. Right? You decide whatever you want. I'm just telling you the difference. Nobody denies gradual physical evolution, right? Well, obviously, right? Obviously, our physical evolution is slow. It's not like suddenly we go from this to this, right? I mean, nobody would say that. You'd have to be crazy, right? You wouldn't say, oh, this sudden evolution from chimpanzees. One day they're chimpanzees, the next they're like this. Nobody would say that, right? That would be completely crazy. And who denies gradual linguistic evolution, right? Some people say, well, nobody would say that you go from this to this suddenly, right? But some people say we go from no language to all language suddenly. Universal grammar. From no language to all language all of a sudden. Who says that? Him. Okay. So he says that You know, we go from zero language, chimpanzees, gorilla people, to suddenly, switch goes on, we have grammar. It's not easy to believe. Really not easy to believe. But anyway, that's what it is. Why only us? Because we suddenly get universal grammar. Okay. Right. Language evolution, I think you can say, was very gradual, right? They left the trees and started walking around on the ground about 4 million years ago, as we've mentioned. We needed to find ways to survive out of the trees. We lost the protection of the trees, so we needed different abilities. Yeah? We needed different kinds of abilities. We developed cooperative skills. Now, this is the key, right? We need to cooperate to survive. We cannot survive. We're weak. We're slow. We don't have big teeth. We don't have big claws. We're not very strong. We're weak. Oh no, we're going to die. How do we survive? Well, we've got a bit of an advantage because we're good at cooperation. We can work together to survive. And that's what we did. And human language developed very gradually as we used it. We used human language as one of our cooperative tools. We learned to use fire. We learned to cook. Our brains got bigger. We get more calories from our food. That's true, by the way. If you cook your food, it's much better way of getting calories from the food. If you want to lose weight, eat only raw food, because you won't get very many calories from it, right? So that's a good way to lose weight. It's not very healthy, maybe, right? Because you're not getting so many calories, but it definitely works. And our ability to communicate gradually improved over time. Gradually, right? We start with simple signs, simple words, and slowly we put things together more and more and more. And over time, gradually, our linguistic ability develops. It's not sudden, right? It's not this sudden leap. Things like that simply do not happen. We had more spare time. We spent less time chewing. And the shape of our mouths could change as we could digest food more easily. And eventually, our mouths evolved for human language. Over millions of years, very, very slow, gradual process. I mean, honestly, physically, you'd never say sudden change. One day, we're a chimpanzee, the next day, we are us. Science doesn't say that. You might get that in some kind of funny Bible or some sort of religious book, but not in science. Nobody would say that. Chomsky says that about language, though. Anyway, have a think. Problems with the gradual evolution. Now, one problem with the gradual evolution idea is that it seems as if human brain size does increase very rapidly and very suddenly. Yeah. But these guys in this paper, they say that's not true. Right? That it is actually brain size does improve. Brain size does increase gradually, actually. Right? Excuse me. So, some people might say, oh, no, it's not gradual. It's very sudden because human brain size increases very, very rapidly, particularly as you get to modern humans. But these guys say that is not really true. Right? Brain size also increases rather gradually. Okay, I'll just mention that. So what makes humans different? Here's Michael Tomasello. He's a big name in cognitive linguistics and sociocultural theory. Call him Mike, and he talks about the origins of human communication. The cultural origins of human communication. Why are we different from animals? Animals mostly in the jungle, right? We have technology, communication systems, organizations. Yeah, those are different. We are different, definitely. How did it happen? He says, grammar suddenly appeared in our brains for no reason. About 50,000 years ago, he says. No more than 200,000 to 300 years ago, definitely. For no reason. It just happens for no reason. Absolutely no reason. Random mutation. Random mutation. Sudden and for no reason. And it also allowed us to think. So it's not really just syntactic. It's not really just grammar. It's ordinary thinking, really. But it was random and for no reason, okay? Well, this is Homo sapiens well over 50,000 years ago. And this goes back at least 200,000 years ago. Modern humans, 50,000 years is a very short time for evolution. So that was very sudden change. They're physically identical to us, right? Modern humans, 200,000 years ago, 300,000 years ago, identical, exactly the same as us. Anatomically identical. Big brains, small guts. They stand up straight. They're good long distance runners. They're not like this. Yeah, not like this. Big differences. They're able to make all the speech sounds we can. 200,000 years ago, 300,000 years ago, any sound we can make, they can make. From 200,000 years ago, at least. All the speech sounds, everything, right? Any sound you can make, I can make it. Exactly the same mouths, same teeth, same lips, same tongue, same hard palate, same soft palate. Everything exactly the same. How? Same voice box, exactly the same. Same everything. Anatomically identical. They are us. Right? Anatomically identical. It's going to be a question in the quiz there. Exactly the same. 200,000 years ago. Exactly the same. Why? Right? Remember Homo erectus? 2 million years ago. Not exactly the same as us. Gorilla mouth. Closer to the chimpanzees and gorillas than we are now. But not the same as chimpanzees and gorillas. They're evolving. They cannot make all the sounds we can yet, but they're better than chimpanzees and gorillas. Not the same lips and tongue yet, right? But they are improving. So Homo erectus here is on the way to us here. Chimpanzees down here, going off. There's Homo erectus. There's us. There's the Neanderthals. And Homo sapiens, it's about 200,000 years ago, has the same speech ability as us. Think about it. And then gets grammar? That's strange, right? You know what I mean? They've evolved physically exactly the same as us, right? Exactly the same. Same speech, same physical shape, everything exactly the same. And then they get grammar? Doesn't make sense. 50,000 years ago doesn't make sense. Anyway, for no reason, doesn't make sense. By random mutation, doesn't make sense. Anyway, that's what he's saying. Right? And they start speaking after that is the idea. That's just not true, right? That they can't speak. They need universal grammar before they start speaking. That doesn't make sense. And Mike says, no, that's complete nonsense. Right? Here's Tomasello, says that's complete nonsense. Chomsky is talking rubbish. He says the key to understanding this is culture. Culture is the key. Humans got culture, cooperation, communication, fire, cooking, tools. And this human culture started millions of years ago and gradually evolves. And the key to our culture is that we cooperate, right? So we cooperated to develop culture, etc. And you say, what do human individuals have that allows us to do this? Right? How does our ability to cooperate develop? Why are we able to do this? Why are we able to do that? How does culture change individuals? But if you compare ape learning and human learning, here's some apes. If you compare apes learning and humans learning, what do you see? I mean, they can see things like us and they remember stuff. So they're kind of like us in many ways. How are we different? They understand why things happen, how things happen. They're not stupid, right? They know things. They recognize things. They see the connection between things. So they're clever. Right? They're really clever. So what's different? They understand the emotions and goals of others. They understand, oh, he's angry. Right? He wants my food. Right? So they understand stuff. They do understand things. They're not stupid. So what's different? They're actually very intelligent. Right? They're clever. In some ways, they're cleverer than us. So what's different? What can't they do? There's some things they cannot do. What is it? Look at a baby, right? Here's a 9-month-old baby, human, obviously. Intentionality, shared intentionality. Now, this is what Tomasello says, right? I have my intentions, and I know you have your intentions, and we can work together to make those things happen. Yeah. You intend to get your credits. I intend to teach the class. We can work together to make that happen. Shared intentionality, right? So in other words, human beings doing classes online on Zoom, chimpanzees are not doing that because we have shared intentionality, right? So you intend something, I intend something, we can work together to make that happen. It's a very simple idea. So anyway, intentionality. So you intentionally sort of make things happen. Okay? And we share that. We work together to make it happen. So work together, shared intentionality is work together for a goal. Right? You have your goal, I have my goal. We work together to achieve our goals. You have your goal, you want to get your credit. I have my goal, I want to teach my class. We work together to, achieve our goals. That's it. Collaboration. cooperation. That's what's different. We're very good at this. And Tomasello says, look, if you look at kids, for example, we're kind of always like trying to work together. We like working together, and we like watching other people and watch what other people do. So, for example, a 1-year-old starts showing things to others, right? Oh, look at this! Look at this! Oh, it's funny! Oh, look at me! Right? So babies, 1 year old, they start showing things. Oh, look! Oh, look! Look! They start showing stuff. Oh, look at my pen! Oh, look at my right. And they start showing things together because they want to get attention of other individuals. They want to get the attention. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, it's fun. Amazing. Look at me. Ooh. Right? Like that. You know that. Oh, look. Look. And so then the idea is that you get joint attention. So the child is looking at something, is paying attention to something, and then the adult, say the parent or whatever family member, also pays attention to the same thing. And we have a sense that we're both looking at the same thing. And Tomasello says that animals don't do that, certainly not in the same way. So it's a joint attention, right? Shared attention, shall we say. Show things and check out the other person. So you show the thing and you check the person to make sure that person is paying attention. And chimpanzees are really intelligent. But if you look at the chimpanzee's eyes, right? Look at the chimpanzee's eyes, you can see there's a difference. Now, they are interested in things. They're intelligent. They're clever. They are really clever animals. But there's a difference. They're interested in things and they play with things. Right? They play with things the way that humans do. But they don't look at other people while they're doing it. Right? So in other words, humans, we're playing with stuff, we're paying attention, we're interested in stuff, and then we're showing it to other people and getting their attention and checking out the other people. Chimpanzees don't point. Like we point. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. They don't point. They don't show things to each other. They're kind of selfish. We're cooperative. They're selfish. And look at chimpanzees' eyes. We can see direction. If I look to the left or I look to the right, I look up, I look down, and we can see where other people are looking. And we use that. Chimpanzees follow head movement. They don't follow eye movement. It's very difficult to even see the direction of the eyes. So chimpanzees follow head movement. Head movement. Humans also follow eye movement. We also follow head movement, but I mean, like, we also follow eye movement. So chimpanzee, you say, for example, you can close your eyes, right? If you close your eyes and look up, and the chimpanzee will look up. If you look up your eyes, just use your eyes to look up, the chimpanzee doesn't look, doesn't follow eye movement. Human child, if you close your eyes and look up, the child just looks at your face, saying, why are you doing that? Why are you looking up with your head but closing your eyes? And the child goes, what? Yeah, that's strange, right? And the child just looks at your face, and you open your eyes and look with just your eyes, right? Just your eyes, and the child follows your eyes. Okay, so Thomas Sowell is saying this. So anyway, that's different, right? And we use these skills because we're kind of sharing intentionality. I want you to see that I'm looking at something. I want you to see that I can looking at the same thing. We're sharing our attention. Chimps follow the head. Children follow the eyes. Human children, I mean. Okay, and we evolved to do things together, right? We evolved to do things together, right from millions of years ago. We show where we're looking. Yeah, because that's how we evolved, to work together, to get people's attention, to make sure we're both looking at the same thing, because we want to cooperate. Now, this actually makes us better at competing as well, right? We compete with different groups, but we can cooperate with our group. Chimpanzees hide where they're looking, right? Don't know where they're looking because they've got these funny, no white eyes. So they're more competitive, right? They don't really cooperate so much. Humans are better at teamwork. That's our advantage. So you've got this idea of shared intentionality, shared goal, should we say? And you get one person here and one person here, and they share attention to achieve the joint goal, as we are now. Joint goal, joint attention. And it's part of our perspective, part of how we see things, right? So we see things in terms of perspective, of this perspective. And because we have these joint ideas, we see things together. This gives us our values, right? We have a value of fairness and equality and things like that, right? This comes from that. And I think, you can probably say chimpanzees don't have that. So that's really what's different. And it's our ability to cooperate. Cooperative abilities helps us to create culture. And that's how we have evolved. And control of fire and cooking helped us to evolve certain ways of cooperation, living together, that other animals didn't have. Okay, so what makes us human? We see from others' point of view, right? So for human beings, animals see their own point of view, and that's it, right? Humans have their point of view, but they also see other people's point of view. That's what makes us human. Animals, not so much. Maybe a little bit, but not so much. We're better at that. That's our big advantage. Okay, then. So we share attention, and we have each have our own point of view. I think I'm going to stop there, guys. So anyway, that's that. Hang on. Let me just go out of here. Numbers, symbols. Oh, that's a good question. Numbers are going to be numbers, symbols, or indexes. Well, I think numbers would have to be symbols, right? If you have like a number 9, that's going to be a symbol, right? Because it doesn't look like anything. So it's going to be index. I suppose if you say, for example, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, make it like 1, 2, 3, 4. Can I just share this with everybody? Say, for example, if you have like 1, 2, 3, 4 dots, I guess that's an index. Yeah. Because it's like a really sort of straightforward sign of that number. Direct. But if you have like a symbol like that, it doesn't really look like anything, then that's going to be a symbol. So I guess the dots like that for 4 would be index of some kind. But then the symbol 9 like that is definitely a symbol. Yeah. So, but good question. Good question. I like it. So anyway, I'm going to stop there, guys. Yeah. So human evolution, language evolution, how did it evolve? The key point, right? The key point is Chomsky says it's very sudden for no reason, random mutation. And the cognitive linguists say it's happened gradually, right? It evolved very, very gradually. And I think it's probably gradually, isn't it? It seems to make sense. In terms of human evolution, why did we evolve the way we did? Because cooperation is our big advantage. Our ability to cooperate is our big advantage. And we have this idea of sharing our attention so by sharing attention, we are able to cooperate to achieve our joint goals. We both have our goals. We work together to achieve that. Okay, then. So anyway, that's that then, guys. And I think I'm going to close that down then, unless there's any questions or comments. Guy, can you hang around a little bit? Don't leave yet, please. I want to have a word with you. All right?
I understand, sir.
Okay, great. So anyway, guys, I'll say goodbye, right? So you can get on with the quiz. And don't forget, intentionality is the magic word. Intentionality, intentionality, intentionality. And that's it. Okay, then, guys. So bye-bye. Okay, then, guys. Let me just give me a second. I just want to make sure put this up on the video, just to remind you that intentionality is the magic word. Okay, right. That's that. Okay, then. And let me just get out of there. Yes. So, Guy, are you okay?
Yes, but it's not the perfect condition ever.
Yeah. Where are you now?
I'm at my room in the city.
Okay, fair enough. So, are you working on your dissertation now, or what?
I've been working on it, but
You have? Okay.
currently I'm reading books for the thesis, and I haven't written a lot about this. Written about it yet. No.
But you're making progress.
For now, yes, but it's slow process, so I need to increase the pace. Increase the pace.
Right. Well, don't. I mean, like, it's never going to be perfect, right? So just like at some point, just write your ideas down. Yeah.
Okay.
And you can write a lot from your own experience anyway. So it's like I wouldn't. Don't wait too long, right? Just eventually, at some point, just start writing, right? Don't wait for it to be perfect, because it's never going to be perfect.
Okay.
Yeah. You're right. Okay. Right. Okay. Good. Fine. Anyway, so have a good time. And if I'm in just about every day except Mondays. So if you have any questions, just come in anytime.
I understand. Thank you very much.
Okay, great, good. And anybody else got any questions there? Still got about 11 people in. Nobody? Not particularly? Okay, fair enough. Probably just gone up for a cup of coffee or something. Okay, then, guys. So I'll close it down there. So thanks for coming, and bye-bye. Intentionality. Don't forget. Okay, here we go.